Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'll be showing you how to go from 0 to 1,000,000 coins in EAFC. So if you're new around here and you need a better team, maybe one like mine, you're in the right place. Just make sure to subscribe and of course drop a like down below if you do enjoy the video, and if you do want to get some coins in a bit of a quicker way. Well, if you guys are fed up of coming against neeks like me and foot champs who use loans and OP cards from day one,
I'm getting really sick of you! Get out now!
Then you need to head over to mitchcactus.com, where not only can you buy the cheapest and most reliable FIFA coins on the EA market, you'll find over 10,000 reviews from people who have used the services and enjoyed them in the past. So make sure to head over to mitchcactus.com and use code RECALL for 5% off. And as the year is coming to a close, I'm going to give you guys another chance to win some FIFA points. If we get a good player in this pack, I'll add a third set of £10 of FIFA points to be given away on New Year's Eve. So all you've got to do to enter is send proof that you are subscribed over on Instagram. Send a screenshot from this video if we get, of course, a good player. Now, if we don't get a good player, send a screenshot from yesterday's video and you'll be entered in. Now, arguably, none of them are good, to be honest. And looking at the SBC prices, it looks like we're just going to go for a double Rapino. And don't worry, I've only got it for troll purposes. But if you want to get yourself your hands on some FIFA points, just make sure, send a screenshot of Rapino over to my Instagram and you'll be entered into the giveaway for the one of 2 FIFA points. So we're going to start this as if you've got no coins at all. So don't worry, if you've got a ton, we're going to move quickly on to how you can use those. But initially, the best way to make coins is by doing the Born Legend and Rising Star SBCs. We've all got bronze rares and silver rares in our clubs. Even if you just started the game, you will have some that you can pop in this SBC and get a tradable result back from it. And you get a small silvers players pack and a free common gold players pack. Now, what's good about these is if any of the players that you get from the pack, for example, maybe a common player who's now got a promo card, you can still get those promos as we showcased in a video recently. We've got that first one done, 3 common gold players, and let's get the silver pack done as well. Brilliant. So both of the challenges done there, and of course, no coins spent at all. So we're going to pop these open and see what we get. Now, with the bronze packs, I will say these are not as valuable as they used to be, and that doesn't matter because neither of them are bronze. I don't know why I said that. I should know by now that it's a small silver pack, but the reason the small silver pack can be valuable is of course because of Evo. So Asoro there, potentially because he's League 1 and he might sell on for 400. That's 400 coins straight off the bat. This guy's got bids at 150, so if we sell him at a 200, he should, or 250 even, so that's potentially 650 coins we've got overall. She's just going to be useful for other SBCs, so we'll keep her. Same for Adebayo. El Ayanu seems like maybe a one, just under 1,000 coins, 800 coins. So he really jumps up that coin total quite a bit. So pop him up for 800. So we're looking at about 1.5, 1.6k that we've made overall. And then this guy probably about 250 as well. So we're looking at just under the 2k mark for a very basic pack. And then I've got 2 silver players that I can pop into other silver SBCs. Your daily gold, for example, requires silver common, so we can use them in that. And then of course we've got the 3 common gold players as well. Now you can get informs in this, you can get promos, whatever the cards have turned into. If they initially were common cards, you can get them sold on pretty well. Now, as you can see from these guys, it just looks like 3 standard commons. The Juve guy might go for a little bit more. We could get maybe 300 coins out of each of them for a K. This guy, I reckon you could probably get 6, 7. So that's probably good, or keep him for a marquee matchup. You've got options with those, or you just quick sell them all. You've already got yourself almost a K out of that as well. Now, obviously, at this lower amount as well, you can take yourself over to the classic packs. You can find, of course, your preview pack of the day. Now, I don't have one until 11 minutes time, but hopefully I can finish that before the end of the video. Now, I would always advise going to the 0 to 200k video that I released yesterday if you are on the lower end of things, because that's a real comprehensive guide on the lower end of coin trading. But what you do want to do once you get to maybe 30, 40 or 50k is hit up all 3 of these SBCs. So the daily tradable, pretty simple, is a tradable prime gold players pack. Of course, you're going to want to get that done. Marquee matchups is 4 packs that are all reasonably valuable. And then on top of that, you're also getting a rare Electrum players pack. And then we've got a rare players pack from the Christmas cheers. So get all of them completed, because although there is a coin deduction for doing them, you pretty much break even or guaranteed profit on pretty much all of these. Rare players pack is pretty much guaranteed profit. So is your prime gold players, and marquee is literally guaranteed at least 5 or 10k every single week. Now, what you can do with the lower end of trading is, of course, with the marquee matchup that releases every single Thursday, you do often get some free filters. Now, usually you'd have the bottom 2 would have requirements of teams. So you'd have Liverpool and Newcastle United as you do here. And then you'd also have 2 teams on this side, but they don't seem to be doing 2 teams on the left side at the moment. So all you've got is Liverpool and Newcastle. So we can go and have a look at how much those guys are going for. And as you see there, 2 of our silvers are already sold, so that's coins in the bank already from doing those SBCs. Now what you can see here is I've actually got loads of 84s on the market. All of these were just duplicates from my club. Now 2.7 is about 300 or 400 coins over the price for these cards at the minute. Now the reason I'm listing these over is because there is a chance that people are going to lazy buy them. Now I don't need these cards, they may be useful for me in SBCs, so if potentially they don't sell, I might send them to club and use them. However, it's not a bad idea to just persistently list these cards while you don't need them for an SBC, because there is a chance you'll get more coins out of them than they're worth. And even if you did need to use them, for example, if I needed an 84 and I don't have one, if I've sold Højbjerg for 2.8 and go and buy one for 2.4, I've still made a decent bit of profit in between. And it looks like another one sold as well, so El Uni as well is also gone, so that shows a lot of these silvers going very, very quickly. We've actually only got one still on the market, so that's really easy profit. Heading over to the market, we do need to have a look at, of course, Liverpool and Newcastle players. So let's go first of all to Newcastle United. Obviously, I don't want to spend too much time there as a Sunderland fan. Now, we want to have a look at 1.2 first of all. Looks like these boys have not moved at all. You've got gold rares under the 1.2 mark. So we're going to have to look at gold commons and really dumb that down just to see. So realistically for these ones, you're going to be sniping them at around sort of, I would say maybe 450, going for a sell on at 600. Obviously EA tax on that is 30. You're making about 120 coins in between. I think that's probably the only way you're going to get this one to really be a method. So it is really low end stuff. I mean, Lascelles I could go for there and try and get him sold for 650. You can sell some of these for 650, but the majority of this is just going to be a case of getting these for 500, selling them on for 600, or getting them on for 450 and selling them on for 600. So there's not a huge berth of profit there, but when you are absolutely on the sort of lower end of things, it's a good little filter. I would presume Liverpool is a little bit better at least. I would assume there's been some movement on the market. Okay, so you can get their golds for 500. Can you get their gold rares for 800? I mean, that says a lot that the marquee matchups has essentially not affected the market on both sides, I guess, really. If we have a look at it, I mean, on the very low end, maybe Liverpool. Let's just have a look at the commons for Liverpool just to see. It does seem like actually this week there's not been a huge change. Now, of course, the menus are pretty bad on this game still, so it's kicked us off the transfer market. We had to reload the game, but I just got this objective and it reminded me to show you guys of all of these. So you get a coin boost for 10 matches twice, so you get a 1k and a 500 from just listing and buying players. So for this one, buy 30 players and then buy 50 players. So if you go out and literally just buy these players during this objective, you get essentially 10k there and 5k there just for free. And of course, we've got a player pick. We're praying for an inform in this one because they are valuable as hell, but instead we get an 84. Now, going back to the transfer market, that Liverpool filter realistically is the best thing to do bidding with. Similarly to the Newcastle one, you can definitely bid yourself away to a couple wins over there where sniping maybe isn't as profitable. Now, I was recently also asked for a few bidding filters, and on the lower end, that's probably what you want to do. Maybe you have 50k, you bid 500 on 100 cards, and you can really get some good biddings if they're, for example, usually going for 800 coins. You can make an absolute ton. Now, I've been asked a few times for bidding filters, so we're going to have a look at Premier League bidding filters because I think these are usually the better ones to go with. So Chelsea's a good club to have a look at because none of their silvers are kind of absolutely in the pits. You can't pick them up for too cheaply, although that SAR is definitely a deal. So we're going to swipe that one. How much does SAR usually go for? I think 300 coins is definitely a steal. Even if he only goes for 500 usually, that is actually quite a good deal there. It looks like 500 is probably reasonable for him. So we'll say 500, 600. We'll try and get him gone for, we'll do 5 just to get him gone quickly. Now, EA tax on that is about 25 coins, so it's a nice profit. Now, there wasn't a lot of players that we could snipe on Chelsea. There was a good little filter on the lower end of it, but the best way to do it is go to Silver Rare, Forward, England, and Premier League. Now, you're looking for a few players, including, of course, Reece Nelson here. So if you actually have a look through how much he's worth, he doesn't really go for under around sort of that 800 to a K mark. So actually, if you see him here on a bid for 300, what you can do is pop that up to maybe 600 or 700 coins. It's close to what his value is, but it's not bang on, and it means that you've got a good room for yourself to make profit, but also for other people to potentially see it and go, right, we're probably not going to make profit on that, we won't bother. You've got Jebison, who's a little bit cheaper. Obviously, we've got Rodriguez here, who doesn't really go for much. Obviously, Rodriguez you want to avoid, but we've got, of course, Nelson, Jebison. Let's have a look if there is any others. It might just be those two who you really want to focus on, but any Nelson card, as you can see, we've got an 800 here, so we want to avoid that. We want to go for realistically bidding up to 700 on his other cards, maybe 650 being safe if there are 800s out there. So we'll go for 550 on that one there. We'll go we won't bid on that one. If there's 750s out there, what we want to do is probably knock our bid back a little bit more. So let's say we want to go 550, 600 on all of these, just because if we're selling at 750 or 800, then that needs to be kind of the bids we're sitting on. And to be honest, I reckon we can win quite a few of these. That was an overbid, shouldn't have done that. 550 is probably where I'd say is the max we're going to bid. Now, of course, for your filters going from around this price of around 20k all the way up to 50 to 100k, check out yesterday's video. But what we're going to work out now is moving from 200k all the way to 500 and then pushing that further. Now, first of all, we're going to have a look at defenders from Bayern. Now, this filter has quite a few players in the special section. We've got a Upamecano actually on the lower end for a change. We've got Missouri there. We've also got Davies as well. Now, of course, we're really looking at Kim Man-jae and Upamecano and, of course, Missouri mainly. Now, Kim Man-jae and Upamecano are very close in value. Now, if we could get Upamecano out of this filter, we absolutely would. He's definitely the cheapest of the bunch, but he does fit in with the filter. He's not too far off of our man Kim Man-jae. You can see at the 80k mark, we kind of have both of them. I wish they were closer to Missouri in value because we could absolutely make a killing doing that as a filter. But unfortunately, they're just a little bit too cheap under his mark. Now, we probably want to look at around, let's have a look. So 74k, it looks like is the mark for him. So realistically, EA tax on that, 10% would be 7.4. So we half it and it's about 4,000 coins. So we'd want to go to about 69, 68 in order to make a purchase. But obviously we want to do compare price on this one, so we'll find the lowest and we just won't buy anything that doesn't have a 6 in it. Now, if we get a 69, 750, that's a bit unfortunate because we're only making like 500 to 1,000 coins, which isn't obviously what we want, but we just want to take anything with a 6 at the front because that means it's lower than that 70 mark and we are absolutely good to go. We've had a 71 listed, which is getting a lot closer to what we're looking for. We can hopefully do a bit of compare price off this 71 and get our way to our 69. This is definitely not the 69 I thought I'd be begging for over the Christmas holidays. Oh, we've got one. Oh, wait, I didn't mean to do that. Oh. Right, we're going to buy that 7,500, right? And we're going to list it at 75 because I reckon it sells. And then EA tax on that, I think we're making like a K.5. So it's not amazing, but it's better. 75, that sells. That definitely sells. We're fine. Now, what that does remind me of is we can actually go over and do centre-back, special and French. Now, there's a few of these. If you have a look, you've got Upamecano, we've got Sickman, we've got Mtiti, but obviously the higher-end ones, we're looking at actually the 2 informs. Now, Kalulu also comes in as kind of one of them higher-end ones. So if we just have a look at where that Kalulu card is, you've got Renard kind of ruining it. So let's just have a look at how we can break this down a little bit better. Team of the week is probably the better way of doing it. Obviously, Renard is going to stay, but she doesn't ruin it. We can get Tobido out of it by setting a minimum, but actually, even having him in doesn't damage it too much. What you can do, if you want to make it a little bit more of an elite filter, is set it to playstyles only. It means you've got Renard and Moran only. Of course, there is a bit of a disparity in their pricing, but there could be a ton of coins to be made. And the next thing we're going to do is go special, Premier League, Man United, and go for forwards. If you have a look on this one, we've got the likes of Manchester United's Rashford. We've got the likes of Hodgland. Of course, Hodgland coming in at around sort of 200k, I think. Maybe it might be 100k. Let's just have a look. So there's a couple, I think, under the 200k mark. We've got 130. It's kind of the main mark for him. Now, obviously, not many Rashfords are going to be coming up. But if one comes up, you, of course, do not want to miss it. That's going to be a massive snipe. But we can do a little bit of compare price of this guy at 130. EA tax is going to put him at about 7,000 coins under. So you want to be picking up 120s, 118s, 119s. That's kind of the mark you want to be going for in this guy. He is an absolute blanket of profit. There is a lot there. It's just you've kind of got to edge your way at it. Now, a really easy one you can do with the Prem is special Portugal Premier League. Essentially, all of these guys are just gifted. You've got Bernardo Silva, you've got Bruno Fernandes, you've got Ruben Diaz. You can make... Now, of course, we can break this down pretty easily in a few ways. So special Portugal midfielder at Prem, that's going to give you the likes of Bernardo Silva, Bruno Fernandes, and also Polina, who actually at 85 is going for about 50k, so not miles away from these boys. The other way we can do it, take away midfielder, take it over to Manchester City. Of course, very simply, Ruben Diaz and Bernardo Silva, they're together. I think this one's a very easy one to make profit off because they're on the same team. I always find team filters are really, really easy. Similarly, if you manage to lose all your coins, a Man City Portuguese filter on the lower end is actually really easy with Ruben Diaz and Bernardo Silva again. Now with this one, he goes for what, 95k. EA tax on that is going to be about 5k. You realistically want to be picking up in the, you know, if you can, 88, 87, that kind of mark. Obviously, there's a few being listed there all at the same time. I'd reckon we can get him for 96. So obviously EA tax of about 5k, 90 and below. Arguably, I mean, I would try and get him for 89 if you can. Obviously, it's just going to be about the listings. You might have to spend a bit of time on this one, but with Diaz and of course Bernardo, that's gutting that I said you might have to spend a bit of time and then I missed one. I mean, that would have been a 4 or 5k profit. So that's actually off the bat a very nice little profit from an easy Bernardo snipe. Now, the other easy thing you can do is going to make you a ton of coins every single time. Subscribe to the channel and I'll see you guys tomorrow.